Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie. So this is a woman who saw the Barbie movie and feels like she has some things she needs to reassess in life.
So like a lot of other people, I've seen the Barbie movie. And like a lot of other people, I was really moved by America Ferrera's big speech. And it got me thinking about some of the contradictions of being a plus-size person. So I wanted to shout them into the void. You have to like yourself, but not too much because that's glorifying obesity, but not too little because then you have low self-esteem. And who's ever going to like you if you don't like yourself? You have to date, but you can't reject anyone because you should be grateful that anyone is giving you any kind of attention or being attracted to you. But you also can't settle because then you don't value yourself. You can't complain that you're fat because it's your fault that you're fat. But then when you bring up things like PCOS, hormonal issues, eating disorders, then you're just making excuses. You have to eat, but not too much because people are going to point it out if you eat too much. But if you eat too little, then people are going to congratulate you on starving yourself and trying to lose weight. You have to eat, but not salads because who are you kidding? But also not a burger because then you're just a stereotype. You have to be okay with people making fun of you.
I'm noticing a pattern here where she's just continuously talking about other people.
Do you notice the pattern also of them being severe opposites?
Yeah.
They're complete opposites of each other, like the salad versus burger thing, right?
All or nothing mentality. It's like saying, well, you can't eat lettuce because then you're starving yourself, but you can't eat a cheesecake because then everyone looks at you like you're fat. But there are things in between.
There's 1,000% things in between. Like, you can't love someone unless you love yourself, but you got to be grateful for anyone giving you attention because they're at least attracted to you. You don't have to acknowledge anyone giving you attention because they're attracted to you, because there are some scumbags in the world, and there are some very unattractive people, even if you're ugly yourself. You have the right to say, I do not want to be with you.
It is my destiny. It is my right.
Even if you're fat. That's a right you reserve as a human being.
My question is, why do you care what people think about you? Why do you feel the need to point out that people are fat phobic?
I can't quite grab if this is a positive thing or a negative thing, or if it's just kind of like a monotonous thing that is for her. Is this, contradictions of being fat, like this is what the downsides of it are, where you get caught up in yourself? Or is it more like, this is what people don't understand about it? Because sometimes she says things and it seems like, why don't you understand? I have PCOS or eating disorders. But then other times she's like, but it's my fault I'm fat, so I should take accountability. So which part is it?
You have to be okay with people making fun of you, mostly behind your back. But then the second that you laugh at yourself or make fun of yourself, they're going to be angry because you're taking away some of their power by laughing at yourself and seeing that you are the joke, and they can't take power from that if you're willing to laugh at yourself.
That was a very long sentence. That's such a lie. That's such a lie.
Stop lying!
Chris Farley, I could think of him. Overweight dude, funny, laughed at himself. I don't think the people that were laughing along with him or at him were taking any sort of power away from him. Or if he was laughing at himself, he wasn't taking away power from the audience. Where is this thinking coming from?
Who doesn't know about Gabriel Iglesias at this point in life?
My Lord, there are so many. Louis Anderson, that's another one. There's
Fluffy.
a ton of very funny, overweight people that don't feel like when people laugh at them that they're taking any sort of power away. That is in your mind, lady. You are allowing those people to take away the power because you have the control. Hello. Wake up.
Know that. Wake up, people.
PCOS is something that you cannot control occurring no matter what you eat, do, whatever. Eating disorders is a mental game where you should see a therapist because that can actually help. But if you're sitting there comparing like eating disorders to PCOS, then it's like comparing cancer to riding a roller coaster and skidding your knee. It's preventable. The cancer, the PCOS, things like that, they're not preventable.
If the majority of our country is overweight and only a percentage of people have eating disorders and PCOS, then what's the excuse for everyone else who's overweight? It has to be willpower. That's what it comes down to. Victim mentality and lack of willpower and lack of being able to see that there is a middle ground. It's not just lettuce or cheesecake. I think in their mind they think that going on a diet or eating healthy means starving and only eating lettuce.
It seems to be that way. And I bring this up occasionally. I was vegan for a year. It's not just eating lettuce. There's a lot of foods that are dairy-free and meat-free and egg-free.
And it's really easy to find out. We all have Google now.
You ever heard of black bean burgers?
Have you ever heard of Google?
That's the problem with people, is they don't research a diet. They just hear that if they cut these things out, they'll just get better and they'll lose weight. But you need to also provide yourself some bit of nutrition, and the nutrition you're losing, you should be supplementing in some other way. When I was vegan, I took iron supplements every day.
They're lazy. That's it. There are thousands of books on how to eat healthy, how to work out. We have YouTube, we have Google, we have Bing, although I don't like Bing. There's a lot of information out there. It's just you getting off your ass. Or actually, you don't even need to get off your ass. You could just pull out your phone and look it up, download an app. And it's not easy. It doesn't come easy. That's the thing.
It's not going to be easy.
But it can. If you literally just change your diet to the right diet for your body type, you don't have to exert. You don't have to run miles and a
Right,
half.
but that's not fast enough for them, though. If they don't see some instantaneous change after a week, they're like, well, this isn't working. Back to the burgers.
When I say I lost 30 pounds within 2 months of being vegan, I lost 30 pounds of that within 2 months, and I was not exerting any more exercise or physical labor than I was in the months prior. And so when I say that it is possible with diet change, that's why I say stuff like this. It's like, I know what I look like right now. I'm not doing well right now, but it's possible. You're just not doing well right now.
To be okay with how often skinny people throw on fat suits just to be funny, and how most of the time skinny actors are hired and put into fat suits instead of fat actors being hired. You have to be put together and not slop.
It's called acting.
Have you smelled some of these people?
It's called acting.
It's called acting!
Being hired. You have to be put together and not sloppy, because then you're just another part of the stereotype of being fat and lazy. But you also can't complain about the price that you pay for plus size clothing. You just have to be grateful that there's plus size clothing at all, even though a lot of the time it's only online. And God forbid.
Most clothes are online now, lady. Goodness gracious, you're bitching about nothing. And who's making these rules? Who makes them up? You, in your stupid head.
You drive yourself nuts, you're driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's like she's talking about the things they get mad at that they could control.
Big you do lose weight, because then you'll realize that people treat you better as a skinny person than they ever did as a fat person.
No, usually they just want something from you.
I can speak from experience. I got hit on more when I was losing weight, from men specifically, but I think that that's just nature. Would you rather reproduce with someone who can clearly take care of themselves and then another person, or would you rather reproduce with someone who clearly can't even take care of themselves?
And on top of all of that which I haven't even covered in this video, you can make a video venting some of your frustrations, and people will crawl out of the woodwork and go out of their way to make nasty comments to you. And yet they'll say that thin privilege isn't a thing, while they are actively trying to make you feel bad about existing and being fat in this world.
I've never heard anyone say thin privilege isn't a thing, have you?
I'm trying to think of how that makes sense. Hold on a second. Go ahead. You can talk. I'm trying to think here.
No, I asked a question.
What?
When you think about Hollywood and all the women who are acting in
supposed to be.
Hollywood, what's the image you get? Not fat. Thin privilege is a thing.
There are people who don't want fat people like me to exist. And that...
Why do you care?
I'm about to lose my freaking mind!
I don't think they don't want you to exist. I think they're fine if you exist. They just don't want to be with you. They don't want to be around you. And they feel bad watching you because I think they want you to just be healthier.
This also can be a choice in how you're reacting to things.
And how you're viewing things. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
Yeah.
Because if you were skinny, right, like you said, they wouldn't care. But because you're fat, they don't want you to exist as a fat person.
They want you to be a healthy person.
Exactly. It's not that they want you to die.
in and of itself is enough to make you feel a little bit worthless. But I do exist, and I'm not going anywhere.
Lady, put your fucking phone down, read some self-help improvement books, read some diet books, watch some YouTube videos, download a workout app. It's fucking hard. It's not fun. And being hungry all the time really fucking sucks. But you know what else does? When you can't tie your shoes because your fat rolls are in the way. That sucks too. When you can't wipe your ass because your fat rolls are in your way, that sucks as well. I would rather starve, and it's really hard. It's really hard. But lady, get your head out of your butthole. I have to say this every video because someone has their head up their own butt. Put the phone down. Put it down. Get help.
Put it down, pick it back up, and look up diets. Well, I mean, and that's why I say
Stop reading comments too. What are you doing? You like being the victim.
I think it's called What the Health, the documentary. Watch that one time. Watch that one time. Just change your perspective on food. I've said this enough times. You don't have to be vegan. Eat a more whole food diet. Stop going to the drive-thru. Stop eating cans of SpaghettiOs. Stop eating stuff from the freezer. And eat stuff that's actually grown out of the ground and put into your stove directly. Because that's the real issue. That's what's actually happening here. Because if everyone had to actually get their own food and make it themselves, they wouldn't be half as morbidly obese as they are.
Her main problem is that she thinks way too highly of what other people think. She wants to know what other people think of her. She goes out of her way to read comments. If she just stopped doing all of that, went cold turkey from all of that, she would lose weight just on the reduction of stress alone.
Redirect your attention. Like I said, watch documentaries, watch stuff about different diets. Try things out.
She can Google it. Like and subscribe.